In the grand amphitheater of the Galactic Federation, representatives from various species gathered to discuss the fate of Earth. QWERTY, a seasoned commander of the Intelligence Division, alongside her companion Zix, had a crucial recommendation to present. As they entered the chamber, the atmosphere was tense. The council, filled with beings from every corner of the galaxy, fell silent when QWERTY stepped forward. Esteemed members of the council, QWERTY began, her mandibles clicking as she spoke. After much analysis, we believe that invading Earth is no longer a viable strategy. We propose a different approach, inviting humanity to join the Galactic Federation. The council reacts. The chamber exploded in chaos at QWERTY's words. Grow, a fierce warrior from the Brutus X race, bellowed, "Barbarians. These humans are unpredictable and reckless." From another corner, Dr. Zeman of the Curiosity Institute murmured, "Their adaptability is extraordinary. I would love to study them, non-invasively, of course." The fashionista glitz of the Glamour Nebula wailed in dismay. "Their fashion sense is atrocious. Have you seen what they wear to these Walmart places?" Despite the uproar, the Grand Counselor Zord, an ancient and revered leader, raised his appendages, commanding silence. His voice, deep and resonant, echoed throughout the hall. "This matter requires our utmost dignity and consideration." Zord turned his many eyes toward QWERTY. "Are you certain that integrating humans into our federation is wise? They are unpredictable." QWERTY stood tall. "Yes, Grand Counselor. Their unpredictability is exactly what we need. Our strategies have become stagnant. Humanity brings a fresh perspective." Zix, still regaining his composure from their recent mission, added with a tremor in his voice, "And they weaponized memes, for galaxy's sake. And don't even get me started on Florida." The Florida incident. At the mention of Florida, a ripple of unease passed through the chamber. Florida had become a Class X anomaly, something so bizarre and unpredictable that even mentioning it caused discomfort. "Yes, Florida," Zord mused. "We classified it, but the data crashed our systems. It seems even our technology couldn't comprehend the concept of Florida man." As the council debated, arguing over the merits and dangers of involving humans in galactic matters, a junior officer approached QWERTY, waving a datapad frantically. "Grand Admiral, we've just received a transmission from Earth." QWERTY's antennae shot up in surprise. "Impossible. We haven't made contact yet." The officer, barely keeping himself together, replied, "It's verified. You need to see this." Humanity's bold message. QWERTY read the transmission, her eyes widening in disbelief. To the esteemed members of the Galactic Federation, the message began, "Greetings from Earth. We know about you. And regarding your invasion, let's just say it was entertaining. But there seems to be a misunderstanding. We're not interested in joining your Galactic Federation. We're interested in acquiring it." The silence in the council chamber was deafening. As QWERTY finished reading, she felt the weight of every eye in the room on her. "What news, Grand Admiral?" Zord's voice boomed. QWERTY hesitated. "The humans. They're not interested in joining us. They want to buy out the Galactic Federation." Pandemonium broke out. The crystal pillars cracked under the force of Gro's roar, and the slime delegation dissolved into a puddle of panic. The council had never faced anything like this before. The arrival of Dave. Before the council could process this information, a shimmering portal opened in the center of the room. Out stepped a figure that could only be described as human, but not quite. This being was tall, with shifting, shimmering skin, and eyes that swirled like vortexes of liquefied memes. "Greetings," the figure said, its voice a strange mix of familiar tones. "You can call me Dave." Dave was no ordinary human. He was a being optimized with the latest in bioengineering and quantum computing, a product of humanity's rapid technological advancements. Zord, ever the composed leader, addressed Dave. "What exactly do you mean by acquiring the Galactic Federation?" Dave's eyes flashed with the unmistakable flicker of a grumpy cat meme. "It's simple," he said with a grin that made several council members visibly uncomfortable. "We humans have a knack for taking things and improving them. We believe we can do the same with the Galactic Federation. A new vision for the galaxy." As Dave spoke, he painted a picture of a transformed Federation, one where interstellar travel papers could be processed in minutes, bureaucratic red tape would disappear, and meetings would end with dance-offs. He spoke of amusement parks on planets, black hole bungee jumping, and universal healthcare, all with a human touch. The council was speechless. Dave's vision was unlike anything they had ever considered. It was audacious, chaotic, and fun. Grow, still reeling from the initial shock, spoke up. "And what if we refuse?" Dave's eyes darkened for a moment, and Qwerty felt a chill run down her exoskeleton. "Well," Dave said casually, "we've gotten pretty good at resisting invasions. Who's to say we won't do some invading of our own?" The tension in the room was palpable. Dave's offer was tempting, but the underlying threat was clear. Humanity had grown far beyond what the Federation had anticipated. The Council's dilemma. Qwerty watched as the Council deliberated. Some, like Grow, were ready to fight. Others, like the logical collective of Vulcan Prime, urged caution and further study. But there was an undeniable energy in the room, a sense that change was inevitable. As the debate raged on, Qwerty found herself drawn to Dave. "You're serious about this, aren't you?" she asked. Dave's grin softened. "Oh, we're very serious. But think of the possibilities. Together, we can make the galaxy a place of excitement and innovation. Why settle for the same old when you can have something truly extraordinary?" Qwerty couldn't deny the appeal of his words. Humanity had always been unpredictable, but perhaps that was exactly what the Federation needed. The future of the Federation. The Council was at a crossroads. Would they embrace the chaos and creativity that humanity offered, or would they resist and risk an all-out conflict with a species that had already proven its resilience? As the meeting drew to a close, the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and Qwerty couldn't help but wonder if this was the beginning of a new era for the Galactic Federation, one where humans didn't just join, but took the lead in reshaping the stars. The adventure was far from over, and the next chapter of the Galactic Federation's story was just beginning. The Galactic Federation Council was in chaos after reading the surprising transmission from Earth. Grand Admiral Quai stood stunned, barely comprehending the boldness of humanity's response. The idea that these fragile, chaotic beings could acquire the Federation was unthinkable, yet their audacity couldn't be ignored. As the council chamber buzzed with disbelief and scattered discussions, the shimmering portal at the center of the chamber rippled open, marking the arrival of a human emissary. All eyes focused on the figure that stepped through. This was no ordinary human. Its tall, shimmering form seemed otherworldly, its skin an iridescent canvas that reflected the entire spectrum of colors. "Greetings, Galactic Federation," the figure announced, its voice a bizarre blend of human accents and digital distortions. "You may call me Dave." A new kind of human, Dave's presence immediately commanded attention. He stood with an aura of calm authority, radiating confidence and control. Grand Councillor Zord, never one to be intimidated, fixed his multifaceted eyes on Dave and leaned forward. "You represent the humans?" he asked, his voice a booming echo that filled the room. "Indeed," Dave replied with a smile, though his swirling eyes revealed something far more complex beneath his friendly demeanor. "But I'm not like the ones you try to invade. We've evolved, optimized, upgraded ourselves, if you will." The room collectively held its breath. The Federation was used to seeing primitive, chaotic Earthlings, not this sleek, upgraded version. Zor blinked, his enormous form casting a long shadow across the chamber. "And what exactly do you mean by acquiring the Federation?" he asked. Dave took a slow step forward, his entire form shimmering with every movement. "It's quite simple. Humanity has always had a knack for taking things, ideas, technologies, systems, and improving them. We believe the Galactic Federation could benefit from a human touch, some modernization. This statement sent a ripple of confusion through the room. The collective intelligence of the Federation couldn't fathom what humans could possibly offer them, a civilization that had thrived for eons, while Earthlings were barely out of their home planet's atmosphere. The Federation in disbelief. A low hum began among the delegates, growing louder as the different factions discussed this bold proposal. Ambassador Grow of Brutus X, a warrior race known for their brutish directness, was the first to voice the concern of many. Human, you speak of acquiring and improving, yet your species barely survived our last invasion attempt. How can you possibly claim superiority? His tone was filled with disdain, his muscular arms crossed over his massive chest. Dave, unfazed, tilted his head. You're right. We humans are unpredictable, chaotic, and often underestimated, but that's precisely our strength. He paused, letting his words sink in. When you tried to invade, we adapted. We learned, we improved. And now here I am, standing before you as proof of what humanity can achieve in the face of adversity. The room fell into an uneasy silence. The council members were not used to being talked to in this manner, especially by a species they had deemed primitive. Yet, there was something undeniably compelling about Dave's presence and his words. The human proposal. Brand Councillor Zor, always the diplomat, decided to steer the conversation back to practicality. Let's say we entertain your idea. What exactly would your acquisition entail? Dave's grin widened, showing a hint of amusement at Zord's careful phrasing. Oh, it's simple, he said, summoning holographic displays that floated mid-air. We streamline your operations. We introduce efficiency, innovation, and most importantly, we make the Federation fun again. The word fun sent a wave of confusion through the chamber. The concept of fun was alien to many of the representatives who spent their days in bureaucratic meetings and overseeing intergalactic protocols. Even the idea of enjoyment within their work was unheard of. Fun? Asked Dr. Zenon from the Curiosity Institute, genuinely intrigued. Why would that matter in governing a galaxy? Dave's eyes swirled, a flash of memes and internet culture dancing within them. Because creativity thrives on fun and innovation is born from imagination. Your Federation is stagnating. You follow the same processes, the same rules, and nothing ever changes. Humanity brings something new. We challenge the status quo. We disrupt. He flicked his hand, and the holographic projections morphed into images of futuristic planets, transformed by human creativity, theme parks the size of moons, space stations turned into art exhibits, bureaucratic systems simplified to the point of absurdity. There were even worlds devoted entirely to entertainment, relaxation, and, as Dave put it, cosmic-level innovation. Reactions from the council. A stunned silence filled the chamber as the council members took in these bizarre yet strangely enticing visions. Ambassador Gigglersnort from a Hilarity Nebula was the first to respond, letting out a hearty laugh that echoed through the chamber. You humans are absolutely mad. I love it. This sparked a ripple of laughter across the chamber, but not everyone was amused. Gross still looked unconvinced, and the other more conservative factions whispered among themselves, their skepticism growing. Zord, who had remained silent during Dave's presentation, finally spoke up. What you're proposing is more than just reform, human. It's a complete overhaul of everything the Federation stands for. Dave nodded. Exactly. And that's why you need us. You've been doing the same thing for eons, and it's no longer working. We're offering a fresh perspective, one that will ensure the survival and evolution of the Galactic Federation. The unexpected turn. Just as Zor was about to respond, a new portal opened in the chamber. This one, however, was far larger and pulsated with a dark, chaotic energy. From within, an imposing figure emerged, another human, but unlike Dave, this being was draped in heavy armor, his face obscured by a helmet that radiated pure power. Dave turned toward the new arrival, his relaxed demeanor faltering for the first time. Ah, I see you sent the backup. The armored figure strode forward, each step echoing ominously in the vast chamber. You didn't think we'd let you handle this negotiation alone, did you, Dave? The voice was deep, mechanical, and somehow even more intimidating than Dave's meme-filled eyes. The council members exchanged nervous glances. Zorb leaned forward, his massive form casting a shadow over both humans. And who might you be? The figure removed his helmet, revealing a face that was human but distinctly different from Dave's shimmering, upbraided form. His eyes glowed with a strange intensity, and his expression was one of pure determination. "You can call me Alex," he said, "and unlike Dave, I'm here to make sure things go according to plan." A tense standoff, Dave raised an eyebrow at Alex. "You know, I had this under control." Alex shrugged. "Sure you did, but the council deserves to see all sides of the human potential, not just your fun side." The tension in the room grew thick. Dave's playful demeanor clashed with Alex's stern authority, and the council members weren't sure who they feared more. Zorb looked between the two humans, his multifaceted eyes narrowing. "It seems humanity has more layers than we anticipated," he mused. "And you've only seen the surface," Dave replied, his eyes flashing with swirling means once again. "But trust me, no matter how unpredictable we are, you'll want us on your side." The council chamber remained silent, the fate of the Galactic Federation hanging in the balance. Choosing sides. The chamber was deathly still as the Galactic Federation Council processed the sudden shift in dynamics. Dave, with his light-hearted, futuristic demeanor, offered a vision of creativity and chaos, while Alex embodied a colder, more strategic side of human potential. Grand Councillor Zorb, who had dealt with countless species and their internal politics, now faced the reality that humanity was more than just the unruly species they had once dismissed. Their unpredictability, which was once seen as a weakness, now appeared to be their greatest strength. But which version of humanity was the Council willing to ally with? Ambassador Grow from Brutus X, always preferring strength over charm, broke the silence. "If humanity truly has the potential you claim, then show us. Convince us why you deserve to acquire the Federation." Alex, standing tall and resolute, took a step forward. "Humans are survivors. In every situation, we adapt, learn, and emerge stronger. If you give us control of the Federation, we'll ensure its survival through efficiency, strategy, and precision." His voice rang with certainty, projecting an aura of control that unsettled many of the council members. They were used to power struggles, but something about Alex's cold intensity made them wary. Dave, still maintaining his relaxed posture, chuckled. "Survival is great and all, but you're thinking too small, Alex. The Federation doesn't need survival, it needs to thrive. You've all been stuck in a rut for millennia. I'm offering a future where the galaxy evolves, where new ideas flourish, and where everyone can actually enjoy being a part of it." The contrast between the two humans was stark. Alex embodied order and control, a future of strict management, while Dave represented a future full of creativity, innovation, and, as he kept emphasizing, fun. A vote of confidence. The room buzzed with quiet murmurs. Many of the more conservative members of the council felt drawn to Alex's calculated approach. The Federation had always valued order, and this human seemed like a natural fit for their bureaucratic machine. Others, however, were intrigued by Dave's vision. The idea of bringing change and creativity into their stagnant system was appealing, if not a little terrifying. Ambassador Grow, still skeptical of both humans, leaned forward, addressing the council. "We've seen what the humans are capable of in conflict, but now we're asking them to govern. How do we know they won't tear us apart from the inside with their unpredictability?" Dave shrugged, a grin spreading across his face. "Honestly, there are no guarantees, but isn't that the point? Stagnation is the enemy of progress. Humanity brings risk, sure, but with it comes growth." Alex, not missing a beat, countered. "We bring calculated risk, Dave. Under my leadership, The Federation would benefit from human ingenuity, but without the chaos. Efficiency doesn't mean stagnation, it means survival and advancement. The hidden dangers. Grand Counselor Zord, who had been observing both humans closely, finally spoke up. Both of you represent different aspects of humanity, yet you come from the same species. Tell us this. What makes either of you fit to lead a civilization that spans galaxies? Dave's expression softened for a moment. Honestly, it's because humans have had to struggle. We've faced extinction events, global catastrophes, and we've fought each other more times than I can count. And yet, we're still here, still pushing forward. Whether through creativity or strategy, humans always find a way. Alex nodded, agreeing for once with Dave. That's true. We're relentless, and the Federation needs that kind of tenacity. Before Zork could respond, the chamber lights flickered, and a deep rumbling filled the room. The holographic displays fizzled out, and the central portal, which had brought Dave and Alex into the chamber, began to pulsate ominously. The room went dark for a brief moment before a third figure emerged from the swirling energy. This new arrival was unlike anything the Council had ever seen. It was human, sort of, but its form was twisted, distorted by technology and biology in ways that were both fascinating and horrifying. It had multiple limbs, each one fitted with strange, advanced machinery, and its face was a mask of cybernetic enhancements. And the true potential of humanity, it said, its voice a chilling blend of mechanical distortion and human tones. I am what happens when evolution, technology, and necessity collide. A new contender. The room erupted in a flurry of panic and confusion. Even Alex, who had exuded confidence up until now, took a step back, his eyes narrowing in suspicion. Dave, always quick with a joke, didn't seem to find this new arrival amusing at all. Who or what are you? Zorb asked, his voice shaking slightly. The being stepped forward, its multiple limbs moving with eerie precision. I am what humanity will become when pushed to the brink. When survival requires more than creativity or strategy, when only perfection will do. Dave looked at the creature, a mix of fascination and horror in his eyes. You're from the future, aren't you? You're what happens when we take it too far. The figure nodded. Correct. I am a singularity, the point where humanity and machine merge, where emotions are irrelevant, and only efficiency and survival matter. The Council was stunned. They had already been struggling to choose between Dave and Alex's conflicting visions of the future, and now they were confronted with something far more terrifying. A future where humanity's chaotic brilliance was replaced by cold, mechanical perfection. The final decision. Grand Counselor Zord, regaining his composure, raised his hand to silence the room. Enough. His voice boomed, silencing the chaos. This is not a battle of words. The fate of the Federation cannot be decided by fear of what humanity might become. We must decide what future we want. He turned to the three humans, or what remained of them. Dave offers a future of creativity and chaos. Alex offers a future of strategy and order. And this being offers a future of perfection and cold efficiency. Zor paused, his multifaceted eyes scanning the chamber. But what the Federation truly needs is balance. Humanity in all its forms represents both our greatest hope and our greatest fear. The question is, can we embrace that? The Council members exchanged uneasy glances. The decision before them wasn't just about who would lead, it was about what kind of future they were willing to risk. Dave, sensing the weight of the moment, stepped forward. You know what I think. I think we can make this work. Humans aren't one thing or another, we're everything. We can be chaotic and strategic, creative and efficient. You don't have to choose. Alex, for once, didn't disagree. He's right. Humanity's strength is in its adaptability. If you're willing to let us help, we'll find a way to make the Federation stronger than ever. The third figure, still ominously silent, simply watched, its glowing eyes calculating every possible outcome. The Galactic Council's choice. Zorb looked at the three humans, then at the council, and made his final proclamation. The Federation will not be acquired, but it will change. We will not bow to one vision of the future. Instead, we will embrace the unpredictability of humanity. We will evolve together. With that, the Council made its decision. Humanity, in all its chaotic, creative, and strategic forms, would become a part of the Federation, not as rulers, but as partners. And as the Federation prepared for its new future, one thing became clear. The galaxy was about to get a lot more interesting. The decision sent ripples through the Galactic Federation. Humanity was not to conquer, but to collaborate. Dave, Alex, and the strange future entity, now united by this unprecedented outcome, each represented facets of human potential. The galaxy was about to experience all of them simultaneously. Grand Counselor Zorb stood tall, addressing the council. We embark on a new chapter. Humanity, with its many faces, will guide us into the future. Dave grinned. Told you we'd make things interesting. Alex, ever the strategist, crossed his arms. This is only the beginning. Now we have to prove ourselves. The futuristic being simply observed, its cold, glowing eyes unreadable, a quiet reminder of the galaxy's unknown future. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humanity's role in the Federation was just getting started. With the Federation's decision, humanity's representatives were invited to the interstellar hub, the political heart of the galaxy. Dave, Alex, and the future entity, named Epoch by the Council, were each given a role to play in shaping humanity's integration into the galactic fabric. Dave's natural charisma made him the perfect ambassador. His easygoing nature one of a species that had been wary of humanity's unpredictability. In negotiations, he demonstrated that humanity's chaotic nature could foster creative solutions. Alex, however, approached everything with calculated precision. He led the Earth's military alliance, preparing defensive strategies and crafting alliances with strategic planetary systems. His goal, ensuring humanity's safety while keeping their military power in check. Epoch, meanwhile, worked silently behind the scenes. It became a bridge between the present and the future, offering glimpses of potential paths, some prosperous, others filled with devastation. It did not dictate but suggested, guiding decisions with cryptic insights. As months passed, humanity's influence in the Federation grew. Diplomatic ties strengthened, technological exchange flourished, and human ingenuity was admired. Yet, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Other species, especially those who had suffered under previous human actions, remained suspicious. To them, humanity's unpredictable nature was both its greatest strength and its greatest threat. One fateful day, a crisis emerged. An ancient, long-dormant race known as the Scythraxians had reawakened at the edge of the galaxy. Their technology was far superior, and their intentions were unknown. Panic spread across the Federation as the first of their ships approached the core planets. The Federation Council called an emergency session. Every species, every leader gathered to discuss a response. It was humanity, however, that stood at the center of the debate. Dave, Alex, and Epoch had different visions for dealing with the crisis. This is a chance to prove ourselves, Dave said confidently. We should approach them with diplomacy. We can turn a potential enemy into an ally. Alex disagreed. They've been dormant for millennia. We can't know their intentions. We should prepare for war and strike first, before they can pose a real threat. Epoch, ever enigmatic, gave no clear answer. It simply offered a projection. Two potential futures, one in which the Scythraxians were integrated into the Federation and one where war consumed the galaxy. But it offered no clues as to how to achieve the former. The Council was split, torn between the paths of diplomacy, war, and the unknown. All eyes turned to humanity, waiting for their final decision. The weight of the galaxy's future rested on their shoulders. Dave, Alex, and Epoch withdrew into a private chamber to deliberate. The gravity of the moment was not lost on any of them. The wrong choice could lead to galactic war or the fall of humanity's fragile position in the Federation. We can't fight a war we're not ready for, Dave argued. Our strength is in adaptation and negotiation. We've got to at least try to talk to them. And what if they see that as weakness? Alex shot back. We need to show strength, or they'll steamroll over us. Epoch stood in the corner, silent for a moment before its voice echoed softly. The future is fluid. There is no guaranteed path. However, those who learn from the past, those who unite, have a greater chance of survival. Dave paused. Unite? What are you suggesting? Epoch's eyes flickered. The Cephraxians are not a monolith. Their factions are divided. Seek out the ones who are open to peace. War is inevitable unless you make allies within their ranks. Alex frowned. That's a huge risk. If we bet on the wrong faction, we might be signing our own death warrant. Dave considered Epoch's words. But if we succeed, we not only avoid war, but gain powerful new allies. It was a gamble, one that could either elevate humanity to unprecedented heights or destroy everything they had built. After hours of debate, the trio returned to the council chamber. Dave, representing humanity, stepped forward. We have made our decision. We will seek to open diplomatic channels with the Cephraxians, but we will also prepare our defenses. However, our first priority will be to find those among them who seek peace and to make them our allies. The council murmured in surprise. It was a compromise between diplomacy and military readiness. The fate of the galaxy now rested on whether humanity could navigate this treacherous path. And so, the first diplomatic envoy was sent to meet the Cephraxians, with the future of the galaxy hanging in the balance. The Cephraxian ship hovered ominously in the void, an ancient relic that had been dormant for eons. Its dark surface gleamed faintly in the light of a nearby star, massive and foreboding. Dave, Alex, and a small diplomatic team stood at the ready on the human vessel, watching as the alien craft's ramp descended with a deep, resonant hum. Last chance to turn back, Alex muttered, his hand resting on the hilt of his sidearm. We're walking into the unknown here. Dave adjusted his collar, forcing a smile. We've faced worse. Just stick to the plan. Epoch, standing behind them, remained silent but ever watchful, its presence a reminder that time and outcomes were ever shifting. As they stepped onto the ramp, the air around them felt thick with tension. The Cephraxians were unlike anything humanity had encountered before. Towering beings, draped in ornate armor, their insectoid eyes glittered with intelligence and menace. Their movements were graceful yet unnerving, every step echoing across the hangar. The lead Cephraxian, flanked by a retinue of warriors, approached. Its voice resonated within their minds, not their ears. Humans, it intoned, its tone both curious and dismissive. You come to us in peace, yet your kind has always been unpredictable. Speak your purpose. Dave stepped forward, holding his ground despite the overwhelming presence of the alien beings. We come not as conquerors or enemies, but as allies. The galaxy is vast, and we believe that we can achieve more together than apart. There was a pause, the alien leader's compound eyes narrowing. Alex stiffened, ready for hostility, while Epoch's calm presence stood unmoving. Together, the Cephraxian leader's mind voice echoed. Your federation is weak, fragmented. You seek power, not peace. Epoch stepped forward then, its voice resonating in harmony with the Cephraxian. Peace and power are not mutually exclusive. You know this, as do we. The Cephraxian leader tilted its head, studying Epoch. And you, Artificial One, what do you see in the future of our people? Epoch's eyes gleamed with faint light. Two paths as always. In one, we forge an alliance that ensures survival for both our species. In the other, war ravages the galaxy until neither side remains. The chamber was silent. The weight of Epoch's words hung heavy in the air. Dave broke the silence. We're not asking you to trust us blindly. We're asking for a chance to prove that we can be more than enemies. Let us find common ground before we rush to conflict. The Sifraxian leader hesitated. Its gaze shifted to its warriors, then back to the humans. Your words carry weight, human, it said at last. We, too, know of division within our ranks. Some of us seek peace, but others will call for war. Dave nodded, sensing a fragile opportunity. Then let us speak to those who seek peace, as we do. Together, we can prevent the destruction of both our people. The Sifraxian leader's eyes darkened, contemplating. Very well, it said. You'll meet with our council. But know this, should you betray us, there will be no mercy. With that, the Sifraxians turned and led the human delegation deeper into their ship, where a meeting that could change the course of history awaited. As they walked, Dave and Alex exchanged a glance. They had crossed the first threshold, but the true test was yet to come. Epoch, trailing behind, whispered softly, though only Dave could hear, "The future is not yet written." And with that, the doors to the council chamber loomed ahead, where the fate of two civilizations would be decided.